So now we want to start creating our edits. I want to continue building my rough cut. I'll use my page down key to put my focus back on the proper layer, and I'll use my down arrow key to navigate to where I want to start to do my inserts and my overrides and so on. You probably already know that we have these buttons right here for doing our tasks of insert, the yellow button, our override, which is the red, and we have the blue for replace. Then also there's a flyout where you have other editorial tasks such as fit to fill, replace media, append, and so on. And of course I have to show we can go to the clip menu, and there you have all the same actions, okay? Again, I want to use hotkeys. That's what I want to use. So hotkey right away, insert is F9. Override, F10. Replace, F11. And if you go back to the clip menu, you can see that replace media is Control F11, ripple replace, Option F11, fit to fill is Shift F11. And then append is F12 and prepend is Shift F12. So what's our typical workflow for creating our rough cut? We come into our source, we select the source. So I've got this clip here. I'm looking at a bunch of the files that I shot when I visited Montmartre. I'm sure I'm butchering the name of that beautiful place, but you can see I've got these files. Oh, another hotkey I should show you is you want to navigate through your different clips in an individual folder without having to click on them. You can use your bracket keys, your left and right bracket keys. As I start to use my right bracket key, I start to climb or navigate down. If I hit the left bracket key, I start to navigate up through the different clips that are inside this individual folder. And then, of course, as we mentioned, we've got all of our buttons right here. Who wants to use buttons? I'm using hotkeys, right? I hit the L key. I start my playback. I hit the I for my in. I hit the O for my out. I hit the K to stop. I hit F9. I want to insert this, and now it's brought in. Look at this. Good thing. I'm glad this happened because I can talk about this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So what I just did was, well, if I play it back, you'll hear it. Nice music playing. Bunch of street sounds. Obviously, I didn't want the audio to be part of that insert. So let me undo this. So there's a couple things we can do. Remember, you have access to each one of these source clips on its own tab. If I go to that tab back there, or I could hit F6 with my tab area activated, there's the audio file. If I wanted to, I can come in here and just delete the audio. Then obviously when I insert it into my timeline, there would be no audio, so it wouldn't override it. I should make a reference. Holding the / key and clicking on any clip is going to give you all the information of what that clip is. These are all QuickTime files that I'm working with right here. In fact, I love the fact I can hold that hotkey of the / key and go over any clip. And this is also true inside of your sequence. If I go to the sequence and I hold a hotkey of / key and click down, you can see I can get the information of each clip. All right, I'm getting off track. Sorry. So I don't want to delete the audio. What I want to do is lock the audio tab so when I do my insert, it doesn't bring in the audio. So again, here's the little lock icon. I can just click on that and I can lock it. Now I hit F9 and you see what happened. The clip is inserted the way I want it to, but the audio is not affected because it was locked. Now here's a hotkey I don't know. I would love to know the hotkey to lock and unlock my audio track. So let's do this. I'll hold the Option key and hit the H key. And I'll go to the hotkey editor. Let me enter lock and choose search. Okay, that's not what I want. Audio scrub, go down, lock. Lock selected clip, lock under cursor, lock, oh, here we go, video, audio. Okay, well, they don't have hotkeys. Okay, well, that's okay because this is what's great is we can create our own. So the unlock the video and audio tracks does not have a hotkey. I'll select audio 1, that's what I've got right here, my audio 1 track, and I want to add a hotkey. So let's add Option Command A, and then I click Set. Okay, good. There's no conflict. Now, had there been a conflict, it would have been highlighted in red and would be telling you that, yeah, that's being used by something else. Figure something out. But there was none. So Alt Command or Option Command A will now be my hotkey to lock and unlock audio track number 1. You'll see it says user right here. This list is just telling you that it was created by me, the user. I'll click Close. So now if I hold Option Command A, there you go. I can toggle my audio track being locked and unlocked. I'm going to leave it locked for right now while I continue to create my rough cut. All right, so I'm done with this clip. Let's go to the next clip. I'll hit the L key. We'll start our playback. Look for a frame that I like. I'll hit my I. I'll hit the I there. I changed my mind. I'll hit the O, hit the K, hit F9. Let's select the next clip. Again, L, I, O, K. So this is a good example. This clip, I know for a fact, if we scrub through this, you can see I've got a bunch of different things I've shot with one camera shot, okay? And I want to create multiple segments from this one clip. So I can obviously set my in and outs here, move forward, set new in and out, insert it into the timeline, and then start the playback again and find my new in and outs that I want, set those, stop the playback, insert, move forward again, find more in and outs, more frames I want, and insert that. But I want to show you a tip or a workflow for doing exactly that in a very efficient way. So I've got my in and outs for my first clip that I like already. And obviously because I was just working on this source file, this source viewer is highlighted, right? Well, I'm going to hit F9, which inserts it as I want it to be. But look what just happened. Because I inserted the clip into my sequence, the sequence is now what is highlighted. And I'm thinking, okay, well, let's continue looking at this source file. So I hit the L key. Oh, well, what's happening? Because the sequence was highlighted. Let me stop the playback, hit K. It's what started playing back. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted my source to continue playing. Let me first hit my up arrow key to go back to my transition. Now, of course, I could hit F6, or I could have clicked in the view to reactivate it or refocus it, if you will. Well, here's my tip that I'm going to show you. Whatever player or viewer your cursor is over, JKL will affect that even if the other player or viewer is the focused player. So for example, let's do this again. Yes, I've now just clicked in here. I hit F6 or whatever I needed. I now have focused this player. Let's hit the L key again. Actually, for time constraints, I'm going to scrub forward. There's a shot right here. Okay, just where it starts to pull back. I want to take this. I hit I hit L. Camera pulls back. I hit O. Okay, I set my in. I stop my playback. I hit F9 to insert. And just like I said before, what happened? The sequence is now the focus point, but my cursor's over source layer, right? I'm not going to tap on it. I'm not going to hit F6. I'm going to hit the L key. Automatically, Smoke knows that is the player you want to actually play him back because your cursor is over. I hit the I key. I hit the O key. I hit K. I hit F9. We insert that. So that's a great workflow tip. All right, I'm going to move on to the next clip now. And again, we're going to do the same thing. This time, I want to talk about another option here. So I'm going to hit I, O, and stop my playback. Now again, I want to pull or create multiple segments from this one clip. But instead of me setting my in and outs repeatedly and inserting off the same clip, I want to create sub-clips. I can use them in other sequences or organize my edits a little better. So with my in and out set for this clip right here, 00115, I could go to clip. I could choose create subclip. When we discard that, I'll hold command and hit the U key. I create a subclip. Now looking in my media library, you can see Smoke created a new clip, gave it the same name, 00115, then it goes underscore subclip underscore 001. Now with the new subclip selected, I can use F9 or F10, doesn't matter in this case, and it's going to be added. And of course, if I select this and I zoom in, just for reference, you still have your extra heads and tails. It's just you created a subclip based on your in and out. And if I wanted to, I can select the original clip, I can scrub forward, and I can say, okay, let's create an in here. I hit I hit L, let it play back. I like to pull back of the camera. I hit O, I hit K to stop. I then hit Command U again, and I create another subclip of that same file. So now we can hit F9 to edit that into my rough cut. Also, I need to point this out because this is really a powerful part of this. You can create subclips based on your edit, based on my sequence. Especially when you want to render just certain frames of your sequence. You can create subclips of your sequences and render out different parts of it. Or you can use a subclip created from one sequence into another sequence. To do that, let me just give you an idea. If I come here to this frame, I hit I'll come over here and I'll hit O. I set my in and outs, right? Now if I come up to my clip menu and choose create subclip, or I use the hotkey, Control U, and we got to scroll down here because it's going to be placed in there. There you go. I've got now a subclip of that edit. Oh, here's a good point. The audio was locked. So when you create a subclip, it's going to respect if your audio or your video layers are locked. But you'll notice that it gave me 2 layers because I had 2 layers over here in my in and outs, but it turned off. I mean, it didn't include the audio because the audio was locked. Just for reference to prove it, let me hold Command Option A my personal hotkey I created. And then let's hit Command U once again. You'll see another subclip is created based on the same in and outs. But if I go to the source tab with this new one selected, you can see there is the actual audio. So creating subclips is obviously a really powerful part, a very efficient way of creating different segments off of the same footage source if you wanted to. But what's also really powerful is obviously creating subclips based off of different sequences. All right, I don't really need these, so I'm just going to drag these to the bottom and delete them. And I'll hold Option X, clear out my in and outs for right now. Okay, now I would just continue my edits. Let's say, take a clip like this. Let's hit the L key, play this back. Okay, again, for time, I'm just going to scrub forward here. So actually, what I like is that camera move right there. So let's go here. I'm going to hit the I, set my in. I'll hit L, play back. I'll hit the O and hit the K. Okay, now another playback option that I like is I've set my in and outs, and I really want to look at it before I even bring it into my creative edit or my rough cut, right? So we've got the option to play it back as we talked about already. We got all the hotkeys, JKL, spacebar, blah, blah, blah. If I click this button as I showed you earlier, we get these other options. First of all, maybe I want everything to loop as I play it back. So I'll switch this to loop. Okay, and now I want to play back just my in and out. Let me scrub back to here, and if I choose play now, it's going to play it back, but of course it's going to loop the entire source, and that's not what I want. What I want to do is just loop my in and out. And here's where I'll click on the play button, but I'll hold it down to access the flyout, and you'll see we've got the play back in and out. And the hotkey is Shift backslash. So let me discard that, and I'll hold the Shift key and hit the backslash key. You'll see that my cursor jumped. Well, actually, I don't know if you notice this or not. This is just a preference, and it's okay. We can change it. It's playing back the in and outs, but it's giving it a 10-frame pre and post roll to it, which isn't really that bad. But if I really wanted to just see the in and outs that I just set, what I could do is go into my preferences and change that. So to get your preferences, go to your Autodesk Smoke, come down, you'll see preferences. Command comma is actually the hotkey that you can use to get to your preferences. But if you go to the preferences, on the general tab, right here, you're going to see player, and here you see pre-roll, post-roll. If I set this to be 0 by clicking on it, or I can just scrub the slider to 0, and now I close this. Let's go back over here. I'll hold the Shift key and hit the backslash key. And now you'll notice it's only playing back the frames that are within my in and out. And it's looping through it because of the options that I set up. And watching this, I really like this angle. I like that cut. So let's come back to my sequence here. I'll navigate to the last frame. I'll hit F9. I've now inserted that. Oh, I forgot I unlocked my audio. Let me undo that. Let me lock my audio once again with my hotkey that I created. And then I hit F9 once again. So great. Now I've got my rough cut, and I want to dynamically edit and trim this.